Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Bryan Tann. We're going to talk Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, for those of you that are fans of the game Resident Evil, this movie combines Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. Everything is happening parallel to each other. It's all one story. So this film sees, I'm going to ruin her name, Kea Scodelario as Claire Redfield and Robbie Amell as Chris Redfield. Their backstory has changed just a little bit. They're orphans in the Raccoon City orphanage, which is obviously a step-by-step recreation from the Resident Evil 2 remake game, and it looks beautiful. This film also stars Hannah John Kamen as Jill Valentine. You know her as Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, of course. Tom Hopper, who plays Luther on Umbrella Academy, as Albert Wesker. Donal Logue as Police Chief Irons. Neil McDonough as William Birkin, Dr. William Birkin, the main villain of Resident Evil 2. Lily Gao as Ada Wong, and then of course you've got Chad Rook as Richard Aiken. And I have to give a shout out, a huge shout out, to Nathan Dales, aka Derry from Letterkenny, as he plays Brad Vickers. In this film, this is Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 together. The Umbrella Corporation is doing all kinds of nefarious stuff. The T-Virus, or in other cases, the G-Virus, gets out and all hell breaks loose. One thing that I really love, though, is it's a progression. It's not just, oh, we've got zombies now, and how did we even have this happen? You know, how did anyone not notice this? It's actually very well done. The script, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing too advanced. It's pretty straightforward. It's following the games extremely close. I had a really good time. It makes you jump where the game would make you jump. The visuals of this are really, really good. It's not exactly what I would have hoped for in some instances, but what I got, I wasn't disappointed in. There were aspects of this film that were very, very frightening. The sort of slow progression of the T-Virus taking over Raccoon City. That was terrifying. It was actually pretty scary. If I have to give something about this movie that I didn't like, I feel like Tom Hopper is really, really, really miscast as Albert Wesker. Wesker in the games is sort of sly, cocky, confident. You know what I mean? In this, he's just sort of like a big, lovable dude. And that just doesn't fit for me. You know, that's not Wesker. That's probably the biggest miscasting of this entire film is Wesker. Also, mild spoiler alert, no Barry Burton. That was a big disappointment to me as well. I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity. Also, Leon wasn't Leon. He goes from being a wet behind the ears rookie in the first game that had to become a survivor to some dude that's just a screw up, a drunken screw up. Didn't really like that as well, but somehow it all came together. It kind of all worked out. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't be upset if there was a sequel to this. However, you're not going to be able to do Resident Evil 3. I'll just let you know that right now without giving you any spoilers. With the way Welcome to Raccoon City went, you're not going to be able to carry on the progression of the Resident Evil games where you have Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, and then Resident Evil 3 happens parallel to Resident Evil 2 because they did that with this first game. And with the way the elements of Resident Evil 3 are, you're not going to be able to do it in a sequel to this. Sorry. So we kind of got the Walmart bin bundle. Is it a good thing? It was enjoyable, but this series is going to really, really suffer if they try to go with sequels and blah, blah, blah. Because with the way they did this, you know, they're not going to be able to follow the games. But there is no Mila Jovovich super character that makes all the other characters take the back saddle. Nothing against Mila Jovovich. She made a phenomenally lucrative career by playing a particular type of character. I'm not mad at that. It's just... that wasn't Resident Evil. It was the Super Alice show. So with the Plotaholics podcast rating system, 0 to 5, 0 shots is a film that's just the perfect movie that you don't need a shot to get through. 5 is you need alcohol poisoning to get over it. Sadly to say, I'm probably giving this sort of a 3. This is a 3-shot film. Doesn't mean that it wasn't enjoyable. Didn't mean that the set pieces weren't outstanding. It doesn't mean that the high points weren't high points. Problem is that it's kind of middling. You can't really, you've written yourself into a corner now. So 3-shot rating. Go and check it out on a matinee if you're looking for something to do and you kind of want to get a fun jump scare and you want some good set pieces. The set pieces and the visuals are much better than the actual story itself. If you really, really, really want your Resident Evil fix, I would say fire up your game console if you got them and just start playing the games. I'm Bryan Tann. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you can get the notifications when we have new content. And make sure you go to Plotaholics.com or wherever you get your podcasts to listen to our regular weekly content of the Plotaholics podcast.